customers.
Yeah.
And I saw his strength, and I said, you know, if he can just learn a little bit, and he's learned a little bit now to be champion, well, what he needs to do now is hit the gym. If he start training seriously, he's gonna be a very bad quarterback.
And from what I've heard, he doesn't do anything. I heard he don't have TVs in his house. He lives out in the woods, and he just so he's not one of those guys that's gonna really let it get to his head. I don't, as of now, I don't think. But he's already been in the spotlight with wrestling, with the WWF. So it's not like this is new to him being in front of in the spotlight like that. So I don't think it's going to get to him. I think he'll just keep getting better.
You got to remember, if you listen to Brock and Brock will tell you, this is what he's been wanting to do for the longest. He just couldn't because it wasn't here. He had to get to wrestle.
Take the money. He got to go make a life.
Out, he left. This is what he came to. This is what he's been wanting for a long time.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal athlete. I guess UFC 100. He proved his point with Mir and kind of had the little outburst. What do you guys take on that? Do you think, he got a lot of flack, but I think, he had a lot of emotion built in. What do you guys think?
I think this is WWF coming out.
A little bit of WWF coming out.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he just, fighters get excited and say some shit.
He's an entertainer.
Yeah, and he's an entertainer, and he's a guy who is playing up to the crowd, and he doesn't do it he's not trying to hurt anybody. He's just trying to, he feels like that's his job, and he's out there to do his job. And Dana put him in check real quick, I think, so he realized he's a guy, he's a smart guy, he's not a dumb guy, he's going to learn. And once Dana put him in check, he came out and did what was right. And I think the next show you'll see he's not going to be that way, because he's a class act, and I think he's going to come out and act like he's supposed to act.
But I don't want him to lose that. When he won, he flipped everybody off because they were booing him or whatever. I hope he goes even further with that, because if he tries to come back, he's already got the people hating him. Let them hate you. Don't try to make everybody like you, because guess what?
That'll make him a superstar.
They're not going to like you.
Yeah.
If they don't like you, there's maybe a couple of people will flip, but majority of the people they're not going to like you. So just embrace it and go with it. That's what we've done since day one. If people don't like us, guess what? We're going to do what we do. We're not going to worry about you liking us or not, because you're not the final say. You don't like us? Fine. Hate us. Hate me all you want. Say you don't like.
So what? My world's not going to stop just
guess what?
You hate me.
If Herschel Walker likes us, I'm good. But if everybody else hates me, whatever. But
I love Brock doing that. I love it, because I just think when you're an athlete and somebody's going to compete against me and they're talking, is that guy okay? Yeah. Then when you get put down, hey, I'm like, okay, I told you. And I think he went a little overboard, but I think you got to keep that intensity. Hey, you got to tell people, hey, I'm here. If you want it, you better come get it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'd be surprised if some of the things we heard on the football field. There was
you would be
under those helmets. They had mics up on all those guys.
At the line, a lot of talking.
Yeah, they had mics on the line. It'd be over.
I tell you, I love it, and I think it's going to be great for the sport, because people are not aware of the sport. They're going to start reading about it.
Yeah.
And people are not going to understand it, but I think they can become aware of what's happening.
Absolutely.
And I think it's going to be great for the sport to have something like that.
I think the only reason he became an issue is because he was dogging the sponsor. Dana wouldn't have said 2 cents, He wants to walk around, flip off everybody. Dana's like,
Dana says the F word every other
Dana's
word.
Got an F word problem anyway.
That was big when you flip out the sponsor, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be big for the sport. People are going to, now, the biggest thing was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was knocking people out. People loved it. Now with Brock Lesnar, people are going to watch it. As soon as he come on, people are going to jump on that channel. They want to see it, because they're going to want to see him get beat. But then he's not going to get beat anytime soon. So they'll be pissed off for a while.
Yeah, they're going to keep hating. God damn it, somebody beat him already. And that's going to make people want to watch. So it works.
Absolutely. Of course, this past Wednesday, Season 10, Ultimate Fighter, I think it drew 4 million plus. How much of that is Kimbo Slice?
I say 90%. 5% Rashad, 5% Quentin. No, I don't know, but it's crazy. We have a deal with Kimbo where he wears our stuff and all that.
I know. I just got a text from Frank Shamrock. He's like, "Hey, do you have Kimbo's phone number?" I'm in Florida.
But we've taken Kimbo with us to signings and to a show in Vegas called Magic, which is a clothing convention. Mm-hmm. And walking around with him is like walking around with the goddamn Beatles. But he gets respect. You know, you walk around with Chuck Liddell, they're like, "Oh, that's Chuck Liddell." Kimbo, they run up like, "Hey man, what's up, Kimbo? My boy, because of the internet." Actually, Kimbo is proof of how crazy the internet is, of how big it is.
Yeah, when you get like 10 million views on a backyard brawl, I mean, that's some outreach.
And he's good, and he's humble about being in the sport. He wants to learn.
Yeah, he straight said this yesterday.
He knows he has a lot to learn, and he says it. He's not one of those guys that like, "Oh, I'll knock anybody out." He says, "Okay, I got a lot to learn. I need to go do it." Yeah. He's not one of those guys that runs around thinking, you know, because he knocks some dudes out in the backyard, that he can go knock out Chuck Liddell or Anderson.
Yeah, it feels like he's a guy who likes to fight. He's a guy who has good hands. He has a good punch, and you know, he enjoys fighting. So I mean, anybody who go out in the backyard and fight for free, you know, I mean, that's a guy who, hey, he would probably love to get paid for it. Yeah. So he's just a guy that likes to fight and wants to learn how to fight better. So he's being humble about it, and he's a super nice guy. Anybody who meets him, man, he's like
once you meet him,
nicest guys you ever meet.
Yeah, I think he got a bad rap there for a while, being pushed to the spotlight, and you know.
Yeah, they just tried to exploit him a little bit too much. But sometimes you take the wrong turn, but you get back on track.
Jumping back to UFC 103, and I'll wrap it up because I know you guys want to probably grab a bite and rest before the show tonight. Frank Trigg, Josh Koscheck, who do you guys like?
Nah, you think?
No. I'm just saying, Trigg's our boy. We know Trigg a long time.
I love Trigg, but I think he's fighting a hard fight, man. Yeah. That's like, Josh Koscheck is just, I mean, love him or hate him, that fool he can fight. And I'll put him up there with anybody any day of the week. I mean, if he shows up, he's just a guy who like can put other things out of his mind, just get in there and want to train hard and fight. He wants to win, and he wants to be, he wants the limelight. He wants people to like him, and he knows that through winning he can get that, and he sees that as just his ticket. And he goes out there and trains his ass off. He trains with some of the best guys in the world up at Bob Cook's gym, and I think, man, I think he's. I love Trigg, but I think he's got a hard fight. If he can win this fight, it'll definitely put him on the map.
And then, you know, of all the guys who have come from the Ultimate Fighter, Koscheck is easily one of the top 2, 3, 4 guys who have gotten the best, you know, gotten better since the show came out. You know, his skills. He was just a wrestler on the show. That was it. Take people down and kind of lay there. But now he's got a great stand-up game. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's progressed, I think, one of the top 2 or 3